Is Donald Trump's relentless pursuit of loyalty costing Republicans their chance at winning in November? He spent years promising to purge the party of dissenters, and this primary season has been his ultimate score-settling tour, targeting Republicans who crossed him, sometimes years ago. But as the dust settles on a string of aggressive challenges, a troubling pattern is emerging. These victories for Trump might be the very things that are weakening his grip on Congress and jeopardizing his own agenda. Before we dive deeper into this political drama, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in U.S. politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and ensures you don't miss our in-depth analysis. For years, Donald Trump has wielded immense influence within the Republican Party, but this latest chapter of retribution is raising serious questions about his strategic foresight. We've seen him back primary challengers against incumbent Republicans, aiming to install loyalists and punish those he deemed disloyal. Think of the recent battles in Indiana, Louisiana, and Kentucky, where Trump threw his weight behind candidates in often bitter contests. His endorsement of Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton for Senate, on the same day he pushed Representative Thomas Massie out of his Kentucky primary, exemplifies this aggressive approach. Allies have been quick to trumpet these wins, portraying them as further proof of Trump's enduring power. However, the narrative from within the party is far from celebratory. Many are voicing frustration, calling these primary victories a mirage and, more damningly, cell phones. The core of the problem is this: while Trump is busy vanquishing perceived enemies within his own party, he's alienating crucial lawmakers and, according to some, actively undermining his own legislative ambitions. The argument is that instead of focusing on defeating Democrats and advancing policy, Trump's energy is being consumed by these internal battles, creating more problems than they solve. We're seeing gas prices rise, tensions with Iran escalate, and Trump announcing massive funding initiatives without clear congressional authorization, all while he's reportedly more focused on the ballroom, a metaphor for these political spectacles. Take the case of Senator Bill Cassidy. After facing Trump's ire, he's become increasingly vocal and unchained. In a single day, he joined Democrats on a war powers resolution, opposed Trump's controversial funding proposal, and even referred to Paxton, Trump's chosen candidate in Texas, as a felon. This isn't an isolated incident. Senator Lisa Murkowski, despite losing her primary, is still a voting member of the Senate until January, and her newfound independence, coupled with the potential for other lawmakers like Senator John Cornyn in Texas to be liberated if they lose their races, means Trump might be creating more obstacles for himself than he's clearing. The Save America Act is stalled, and even traditionally friendly senators like John Kennedy are expressing doubts about some of Trump's more ambitious funding proposals. The strategic question many are asking is, what is the return on investment for Trump when he backs a challenger against a sitting senator like Cornyn, especially when the Senate majority is so razor-thin? By creating an enemy where there might have been an ally, or at least a neutral party, for the remaining months of a term, Trump risks further fracturing the party and hindering any potential legislative wins. This focus on personal vendettas, rather than the issues that resonate with voters back home like the economy and the cost of living, is creating a significant daylight between Trump's priorities and those of the American people. The data emerging from analyses, like those from the Politico poll, suggests that Trump's endorsement might even become a liability in battleground races this November. Former Senator Jeff Flake, a vocal critic, believes Trump's agenda is primarily driven by vengeance, and this approach isn't just alienating those he directly targets, but also potentially other Republicans who realize aligning too closely with Trump's divisive tactics could hurt their general election prospects. The core of the critique is that Trump and his team appear to have lost sight of how Washington operates and, perhaps more importantly, why the American people elected him in the first place. His chief of staff once spoke of an agreement to end score settling within 90 days, but that was over a year ago. Now, as we look towards November, this relentless focus on personal grievances, rather than on delivering tangible results for the country, could leave Republicans in a difficult position. Senator Josh Hawley has voiced concerns, pointing out that come election time, voters will ask Congress, "What have you done for me?" And simply saying, "We liked some stuff President Trump did, but we didn't do any of it," won't be enough. So, what does it truly mean when a former president's power within his party comes at the expense of his own stated agenda and potentially the party's electoral success? Is this a sign of overwhelming strength, or a desperate attempt to maintain relevance that's ultimately self-defeating? What do you think about this situation? Has Trump's revenge tour gone too far, or is this a necessary purging of the party? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. This is a critical moment for the Republican Party, and the long-term consequences of these internal battles are still unfolding. We'll continue to track these developments closely.